think about what it might be like if we link up. I know you have someone, I know, but I still wanna keep it and keep it a secret. I know you have somebody, but I still wanna link up and keep it in touch. Let it take this. Come let it take this. Let me take a piece of the thing that let me make it feel sweet. Let it take this. Say, okay, I want you to think about it. Think about it. Think about it, girl. I want you to think about it.
I'm thinking.
Think about it, girl. When you're whining and over, and I push back on the thing, oh girl. I want you to think about it. Think about it. But there's no one other than you at all. There is no one could ever call you a fraud because you're better than them. You are the best overall. You're better than them. You are the best by far. Hey. Yeah. You catch me flirting with our next gal, baby, me sorry. Yeah.
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. You know, it's the Auntie's Morning Show with the Burn team. So we have Abby and Chisan representing, and we have Sonali as well on the inside. So this morning we have, quite a number of videos to show because, we're getting back to some kind of normalcy now. And Lion, make sure you have something special for Abby this morning as well. Yes, special for you. And special, Mike not here, but special for you. Yes, I think we might be starting off with that clip first. Yeah? As we talk about the vaccine mandates and, right now all over they have new dates that they are working with where you must be vaccinated, right? We're looking at November 1st. And they have to be vaccinated by then. Some employers even going as far as saying if you're not vaccinated by this date, we're going to put out an ad in the papers. We're taking on new people. It's getting real serious now. But the good thing is Monday, for the vaccinated, we'll be getting to go back out a little bit, go and have a nice meal in the restaurant.
Max.
Jump out in the gym.
Who say trotters? And most important.
Nah, we're not trotters.
And most important, who said the gym?
Hallelujah for that.
Hey, oh God, they keep me away. Oh God. That full spin when I'm being
calm down enough. It is going to be real brutal. I can feel it already.
So this one is for all our UK family. Yeah, this clip is for the UK, man. We go in and deal with it because, Abby, I like to interfere in Abby when coming to this vaccine thing.
Oh, my.
So this is your President Boris Johnson.
I don't want to close nightclubs again, as they have elsewhere. But it does mean nightclubs need to do the socially responsible thing and make use of the NHS COVID pass, which shows proof of vaccination, a recent negative test, or natural immunity as a means of entry. As we said last week, we do reserve the right to mandate certification at any point if it's necessary to reduce transmission. And I should serve notice now that by the end of September, when all over 18s will have had their chance to be double jabbed, we're planning to make full vaccination the condition of entry to nightclubs and other venues where large crowds gather. Proof of a negative test will no longer be enough. Now, let me stress, we want people to be able to take back their freedoms as they can today. We want this country to be able to enjoy the fruits of our massive efforts and of our enormous vaccination campaign. But to do that, we must remain cautious and we must continue to get vaccinated. And that's why we're asking you to come forward and get your jabs now.
Mr. Johnson.
Boris Johnson has scattered like a fowl. Was unbelievable.
Oh
This man.
gosh, you see, Anches and sit. I just watching it see I'm wanting to comb it. That's all I'm saying.
This man is so.
Looking like a wet
Yeah.
fowl.
Oh gosh, yes, that's Mr. Johnson.
Yes, Boris
Well,
Johnson.
how can you prove natural immunity? If you had it and you recover, how can you prove it? I don't get it.
Actually,
I
that
don't
is
know.
not even the definition of natural immunity. Natural immunity is you
Exactly.
absolutely can't get it. It's
Well,
a very rare and it's a very rare occasion. Only like must be, if I can remember correctly, must be what? A couple in a million actually have natural immunity. They absolutely don't get sick. They don't get even the common flu, nothing, no
Would.
allergies, and
Remember I
they
tell earlier, I
just
like the candle last 3 years. I tell earlier, and we spoke about this. I mean, I tell earlier, this is what's going to take place. Everybody jumped up my throat. Yeah, everybody. Like, yeah, say the people. Nobody. He rising up and doing nothing. England has some horse in the mountain brigade.
well, I mean, he is
Because
pleading to the nightclubs. That
you want to
doesn't
say,
mean they're gonna.
Giuliani under pressure
So,
because you go, you like the nightclub.
Well, I will stop going nightclub and I will have party in my
You
house.
can't do that. I believe that ever.
Right.
I don't think so.
You're going for that
how long?
vaccine.
Yeah, I
It's
will
another
party in my
fantasy line.
house.
eventually,
Yes.
yes, let them do
Yeah,
more testing,
eventually.
and
Yeah.
nobody ain't getting sick, no adverse reaction or anything. That's fine. Them keep testing. I'll wait till you finish. That's
Right.
fine.
Right. You don't like to interfere to be with a stand. But Jisan, you know, you like to pick up something, anything. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, it's different.
Yes.
Right? So, you know,
Mm-mm.
we back to school in Trini. So
Oh,
it's vaccination is only children who are vaccinated are allowed to come to school at this point.
Excuse me? Wow.
Yes,
Yep.
darling.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
From
what we're
4
going
to
to do.
6. Mm-hmm.
So this young lady next to me here, we're gonna take a trip from where she works, Baby
Oh
High.
God.
Is Baby High or Baby? What is it, Baby? What?
Davie Secondary School is no
Baby
longer considered
Secondary.
a high
Right? So we
school.
take it this little clip here from Baby Secondary, the educator. How you feeling, Sonali, first week out with the young people before we go to that?
First week, well, first day I was excited, and then by Tuesday, as how I see less and less children coming to school, it's like, why am I wasting time to waste passage to go to work for?
They're getting paid. It has no such thing as a waste when they're getting paid to waste them. Right. So we're going, they're getting paid. A lot of people can't say that. Right? So
true.
a very
Ironic.
decent young person here. Let's hear what the young people have to say, the students themselves, the students. Yeah.
Oh, God, please don't let me recognize him.
Maybe secondary school. Maria, how you feel about coming to school? Well, I was looking forward to it, excited. At the same time, kind of skeptical about the rules because it's kind of very strict. So, yeah.
What are the rules?
Well, we had to wear the mask and then we have to stay 6 feet apart. Well, social distancing. I could understand that, but at all times, and then we'll be in the classes and come out of class when it's break and lunchtime, and well, we be school when it's time to leave.
Thank you.
All right.
So now you make out that student?
Of course.
So wait, they have to wear that all day in the classroom as well?
No, they have to. You absolutely cannot enter the compound and take off your mask. You have to wear it at all times in the classroom, outside the classroom.
So at no point I'm getting fresh oxygen?
When they're eating?
Are they eating?
Yeah. I guess when you're eating, that is the only time.
Wow.
And even while eating, to say that you're moving around and getting fresh air, you can't, because they have to sit in the hall 6 feet apart. They are not allowed to move around the school unless it's starting to enter the classroom.
So they're
So,
breathing in and out their own junk
yep.
for the remainder of the school time.
Mm-hmm.
Is that even sound healthy?
No, because like people like me who wear glasses, that constant hot breath from your own mouth, that carbon
Yes.
dioxide is going back into your eyes. So the
Oh,
children are constantly having to experience
yeah,
that. And we are not allowed, and some of the classrooms that they're in are not allowed to have the AC on. So all the fans and doors, everything are open to allow circulation. So
but
yeah.
yet they're still covered, even though
Yes.
the ventilations are open to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yep.
think that's fair. And they're vaccinated. So what's the point?
Well, you see, even here in Trinidad, it's mandated that you wear a mask at all times. So
Yeah.
it was one of the stipulations for Ministry of Education stated at all times, whether students are vaccinated, staff or anybody on the compound, you must have on your mask at all times. If you don't have on your mask, you refuse to wear a mask, please leave, head to the gate, do upon your own will, but not on our compound.
Right.
So
Yeah,
they
But
it's
at
had
hard.
least,
that.
if they said that every child vaccinated are able to come to school, then the whole school, whoever, all the kids that in there are vaccinated, then they have this level of protection.
Protection,
So
yeah.
why do they still need all this PPE when it's only
Because,
them on the compound is vaccinated?
well, not only them, along with staff as well, but the fact is that it still have the chance of even vaccinated people catching COVID and still able to spread it. That is the reason why you still have to wear the mask.
Oh,
So it kind of like a 50-50. The scale is sort of balanced. There's no tilt to one end, no matter what.
mm.
But
Okay,
nonetheless, I
okay.
still look forward to the day where they say you all do not have to wear a mask again because it's very irritating.
It is, and plus
Very,
they're
very.
so hot.
No, it
Yes.
is.
Damn.
It really is. Because sometimes when I'm in the office, depending on which part of the office I am, if I'm in the conference room, staff room, copy room, or something, and it's just me alone, then I take off my mask. But once
Right.
there's
Exactly
somebody
so.
else there, I have to have it on. Or
Mm-hmm.
if there's a
Wow.
lot of people in the office constantly passing around, then I leave it on.
Wow.
Yes,
But
it's not easy.
that would, because a lot of kids, especially in the earlies, they
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of rash around their mouth
Yeah.
due to the
A lot of
sweating.
a
Let me
lot of
fix
the
this
kids
thing.
that I noticed that came out, but especially
Let me
after the
fix it.
first lockdown, that when they brought them back out, a lot of
Mm.
kids
Listen,
that I saw and interact with, all of a sudden have a set of acne, and the skin was like completely smooth, and it's
Let me fix this
it
thing.
hard.
Let me fix this thing correct. The reason why they would do that. We remember our country has not gone through a situation where they needed a type of leadership that would be extremely forceful. So in Trinidad, even though we're saying what we're saying, people still have a choice. Tutor has been kicking against the vaccination scenario for the teachers. And the unions are playing with the minds of the workers. Either says I eat a food syndrome because the unions was never there to help you in certain aspects, and now they want to jump at the opportunity to use this COVID-19 now to increase the fees and say they're fighting on behalf of the labor force and a pack of rubbish. So we have teachers that are employed by the state that are not vaccinated. So
Okay.
what is going on is that to protect the teachers, they have the students who already vaccinated to wear the mask in the classroom because they have not yet sorted out what we're gonna do with these teachers who are not vaccinated. Get what I'm saying? So why we want to still provide education for Form 4s up until upper 6. We want to provide them because they come and do the labs and thing and whatever. Oh God, they've been home, right? And we don't want to know, they have not reached the stage where they're mandating teachers. So yes, you're a teacher, you're not vaccinated, but now to protect you, right? The student that coming from a home that we do not know what it has in it, that is vaccinated, they need to wear the mask because you come in to teach, right? So it's fair, right, Abby?
No.
Yeah, because if it is, we allow you to teach and you still have your right of not being vaccinated, right?
Right.
You could make your dollar and you're not vaccinated. We have not
But
reached that point. So now the mask wearing now in the classroom would be mandatory because we have teachers that are unvaccinated and still being allowed to make the money. Right? We ain't reached the stages of Australia and Paris and other places as yet. Right? So where it would be extremely uncomfortable. And what you all saying is true. We can't have a vaccinated child, a student, and an unvaccinated teacher without the mask.
But shouldn't it be the next way around?
It should be,
Exactly.
but it
That's what I'm
should
Well,
be.
they
saying.
have to wear their
It
masks
should be.
as well, eh?
But we would have to wear the mask. And so until that situation is sorted, maybe whatever they do, but until then, we have not put any pressure on teachers like how you're seeing it in the States, right? We
Right.
ain't put that kind of pressure. So nurses, teachers, servicemen, police officers, fire, they have not put that stipulation on our particular. So we still have some sort of freedom. Eh? We talking, we have no freedom. But if you look at what's going on in the world, people who are employed by the state losing their job as of today, right? They're getting home with no leave with no pay as of today. I mean, what do you think about it? We have not reached that stage in Trinidad, so again, we are fortunate still that people still choosing not to be vaccinated and still could attend, they could teach, they could still, for now.
I mean that's all right, but they better hope a lot of people vaccinated to fill the spaces. But over here, as how they're trying to mandate it for the care
Well,
industry.
let me look, watch Toronto here, watch Toronto
In an
here.
effort to expedite COVID-19 vaccinations, the city of Toronto says all employees must show proof of vaccination by the end of the month. Those that don't will be suspended without pay and eventually fired. That means 850 workers could be on the chopping block. As of November 1st, city staff who do not show proof of vaccination will be suspended for 6 weeks. But come December 13th, if staff still do not show proof of vaccination, they will be fired under the grounds that they have chosen not to comply with the mandatory COVID-19 vaccination policy.
As the largest employer in Toronto, having a firm policy about the need to be vaccinated demonstrates the seriousness with which this issue revolves.
So far, 95% of city staff have completed their vaccination disclosure form. Of that, 89% disclose their status as fully vaccinated, while 5% are partially vaccinated. According to the city, approximately 850 of the 31,000 employees have not received a shot, while 1,800 haven't disclosed their status.
Well, we are encouraged by the numbers, and we anticipate that those numbers will continue to improve over the next couple of weeks.
These employees who choose not to get vaccinated, do they have a fighting chance in terms of keeping their jobs in the end?
I think if you want the job security and you want to keep your job, the only way to circumvent an otherwise legal and reasonable policy to be vaccinated is to have a legal exemption. So that means some sort of human rights exemption for me, either a medical one or one related to religious grounds.
Sheikh says simply saying you have anxiety around the vaccine will not be enough to exempt a worker, and the company will have legal grounds to suspend or terminate an employee.
Absent a good and clear reason, you have to do it.
So they essentially have no case at the end of the day if they wanted to.
Unless there is a valid human rights reason as to why you cannot be vaccinated, it would be very surprising to me if an employee who simply chooses not to adhere to a policy would have a legal leg to stand on.
The city says while 850 workers still need to receive a vaccine, plans are in place to ensure the city will be able to run without issues in case suspensions are given out to a large number of workers.
Our managers are working behind the scenes to, on contingency plans should we need them, to ensure that there is no interruption. Or that any interruption would be seamless to residents of Toronto.
The city will be hosting vaccine clinics at 9 workplace locations. They also say that anyone who shows proof of vaccination after the deadline can return to work. Melissa Nakavali, City News.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, it's wow again. You could say that again.
So
Wow.
the 1st of November is right around the corner. And then 6 weeks suspension, without pay. And then when it reaches 13th of December and he's still not vaccinated, don't come back. That's basically what it is there. Basically.
Well, they better have plenty of money and universal credit.
Hey.
No, seriously. Okay, it's like me. I work in retail. I'm going back to work in March. What do? I have to be vaccinated before I go back to work then.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
But see, the thing is, people who were working, I mean, that was part of the discussion where people who was already working, you can't force them, you can't change your policy, without discussing it with your staff and this is what you're going to do and then force them into taking the vaccine because you change your policy and then threaten to fire them because of it. I could understand you change your policy and it's implied to the new employees that you're employing that these are what you have to follow. But then again, it's like no rights anymore.
Yeah, no
it's
human
going
rights,
down.
really.
But they did say even after the deadline, if it is the person do get vaccinated, they can return to work, And if it is they have a valid human right reason, then and they get for that exemption, they can get it. So they still have their rights, You just can't say, well, I'm afraid of needles, so I'm not taking the vaccine, or I just don't want to take it.
But what exactly
right?
is human rights that you could go under other than medical and religion?
Yeah.
Well, there's no
Essentially,
other
what
human
other
rights.
human rights?
It doesn't have any other, so it's just those two, basically.
Right. I have a question. Okay, I am allergic to penicillin and certain things. And what if I'm react to this vaccine if I don't want to take it because I'm thinking I might have a reaction towards this vaccine. I
Right,
don't
so
want to take it.
you go to your doctor, whoever doing the exemption, and they will say that you are not allowed to take the vaccine for this particular reason. And
Because
you can be
that's my
exempted.
main reason why I don't want to take it because I don't know how I will react to it.
They
No,
get
but
paid
they
for
need
offering
to do a
vaccine.
testing and all of that and say, okay, due to this, because of past instances, you're allergic to this, that, and the other. Looking at the ingredients within the vaccines, they would line it up to see, okay, there is a possibility she could have an adverse real allergic reaction. And that's how you could get your exemption.
Maybe, but some doctors don't even know what's in the vaccine.
True. That's the thing about it.
So the thing is, over here, it's rumored that the more vaccine a GP give out to their patients, the more money they receive. So I think due to some of the GPs who don't give a damn, they would tell anyone, yes, you could take it, and they receive their money. So if one of their patients have an adverse reaction, well,
But that's how it normally works all around the world, once you partner with a company, no, that's how it is. And you have a private practice. Once you partner with a company and they approach you and say, okay,
You know, it's the
so I
interesting thing
have this and
about
I'm
what we're
selling this.
talking about here.
This is
It is
this
interesting
is
thing
your
about it.
cut. This is what we will
You know,
collect.
the
This is what
interesting
you will
thing is,
collect, and this is how much you have to
everything
give
we
out.
say here don't mean
And
nothing,
there you get your money.
right?
So that's how
Because
GPs work.
in order for you to get an exemption, it must come from the health department, not at your general practitioner. It's not going to come from your private doctor. It's supposed to be a legal government document. Any exemption from this vaccine must come from the government. So a government practitioner is going to assess you, not your private doctor. That is the law that right now. And for all
Well,
the land, try to say the religion who will all of a sudden be born again. The Dalai Lama has taken his vaccine, and he said that no Buddhist could say anything about this vaccine. That is the Dalai Lama. Mr. Francis, Pope Francis has taken the vaccine, so he said nobody, the Christian faith, it has nothing in the Christian faith that
Yeah,
should
we're
allow
about
anybody
Catholic
to look
faith
for
too.
exemptions. I want you to understand what's going on, you know, right? The validation committee, every country is going to have a validation to validate. It is only if it's a serious medical problem.
that
That's the
don't
only
make
one you get
sense.
away. And it
Understand?
is not going to be administered by a private practitioner. The
That
paperwork,
know me, that actually know me.
no,
My
yeah,
private
it's
doctor.
a good way of saying
That's why. That's
it
why
is
they don't want you
only
to use the doctor that know you because he
is
could lie.
only going to come from the government. It's a government exemption. You know when you get locked up and when you're inside, or whoever get locked up before, you know you can ask for a pardon. You know you can ask for a pardon. That's
Yeah.
what it is. It had to come
So,
from the government, not coming
but
from your
they
doctor
want the
who said
whole
yes
population to get
for the bride.
vaccinated. That's
Feel it,
their
yeah,
whole
feel it, darling.
mission.
If you like it,
So,
like it. If you
me
like it, okay.
begging for a pardon, who is me? They're not going to do it because they want everyone to be vaccinated.
Abby, I
I,
told you. Abby, I told you. Abby, I told you. That's what it is.
let them continue the testing. You see, like the polio and the whooping cough and the
No, it's
RMMA,
true though.
whatever.
Let
You
me
Big up
get a
everybody on the
vaccine in
line.
that,
Big up. I
you
see the way
Yeah,
on
big
never
up
get.
Isabel. I
no,
see Celeste.
seriously, yeah.
Seamus,
I see Taggy
Amelia.
Barbara. Them girl and them just
Yeah,
keep off with the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, the
yeah.
vaccines that we get when we were young, as soon as you get that vaccine, you will never
Abby,
get any symptoms,
Abby,
measles, mumps,
Abby,
rubella, all them stuff. You will
Abby, I'm feeling
never
your
get
pain.
it.
I'm feeling
Now,
your
this
pain.
vaccine, I'm gonna still get it and still spend and
Abby,
still die.
Abby,
No, continue on the
Nobody said you're
research.
gonna
You
die,
won't
Abby. You would
die.
not die.
Abby,
Lower your
Continue the
chances.
research. No, I don't want to get sick. Period. You vaccinated me. I don't want to get sick. Continue the research,
this is
and
Bertie in
then I will
England.
take it.
Let's see how hot it is in England on here.
No, I'm just
It's very
playing.
sad in Toronto. It's very sad in Toronto that imagine you in this particular city. As I'm saying, even though it's uncomfortable now for the teachers in our country, I would urge them to look at what's going on in Toronto because they're saying our prime minister being hard, but here being hard because Toronto don't give them a date. They don't tell them you're not working.
That's some companies, isn't it?
Yeah, our government still, even though, yeah, they're still allowing certain things. They're still allowing, if you choose not to be on vaccine, you can still reach the work, yeah? No.
Yeah.
This is how it is no. I can't talk for
Just
later.
do your PCR. Just do your
Right? Our
PCR test.
government is still telling you take your PCR because to let your employer know that you're negative and go to. Right? It's still uncomfortable, but did not we reach a stage as Toronto and England and United States. We reach a stage. So it's still okay for now.
We ain't that bad yet.
We ain't that bad yet.
Yeah.
But I said we ain't that bad yet. But you
No.
see how bad it is. And I find
It can get, and a lot of countries like to follow each other. So
it could reach to that, right?
It will.
No offense, from what I have seen, I think it need to reach for that for some of them teachers because
because it's sad
some
to
of
know that
them
the young people are
ridiculous.
suffering now because the teachers are even coming to work now.
Oh, of course not. Like my
So
teacher who
now
I work
you see how
with.
it is, Abby. You can't please everybody. So now we're saying you could come to work where your mask and teach, but now you want to stay home online now when the students come into school.
But I mean, would it
You
make
understand what I'm
sense? You
saying?
have this thing on your face whole day. No, I mean, and it's
Yeah, so
ventilated. So it's not to
you
say
can't
that,
please everybody, Abby.
you know, that in the classroom, it is ventilated in order for the kids to see the teacher speak and everything, and the
Mm-hmm.
vice versa. You should be able to see the lips move. And plus, the classroom is ventilated. So they should be able to remove their mask in classroom. But when they're congregating outside, they put it back on. I just think it's unfair to have this thing on your face whole day in that heat.
Well, Abby, I
And
don't work with my mask whole day.
oh,
Since COVID, I work in with this thing on my face. Since the COVID reached
man.
there, and I work in with that on my face.
And
Oh,
how you feel with that on your face whole day?
I don't really care. I care about being able to pay my bills.
Fair enough, but
You care? I mean, with me, right?
your
I mean,
lungs is
I
being
looking like I
damaged.
don't healthy. I
Your
mean,
lungs
listen.
are being damaged.
I mean,
Innit?
listen to this. I mean, wait. From the day that people was home, I have not been home.
Right.
From the day I have been out working with this thing on my face all up. Right?
Oh, God,
Yes, it's
boy.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right? But when I add up, the bills uncomfortable. Bills uncomfortable. So what I'm saying, right, is that for the teachers now in our country and the servicemen and the people who are employed by the government, yes, it's uncomfortable, but I am saying that at least they have the job to take care of the family. Yes,
Fair enough. I'm not gonna
everybody's
knock that.
saying, but if we look
Well,
at the world now, they're letting go nurses, they're sending them home without pay.
The
And we
nurses
should be,
worked through the pandemic with
yes,
no
anyway, that's what I'm
vaccine.
saying. Exactly.
yeah, but that's what they're doing
Why
now. We
get rid
gotta
of
be
them?
real. We gotta
Why
be
get
real.
rid of them and they work?
Because those are the ones who unvaccinated who will refuse. So that
Yeah,
is the
but this
reason
way it
why.
is now.
But
So we have to be a little bit real in the reality. So the youth and them somewhat happy. Let me check naps, boy. So let me have next young person who really talking about we sell. Right? Let me talk to the youths and them a little bit.
Nice.
Tell me your name and what school you're going to.
My name is Jaden Gopal and I attend Naparima College.
Spell your first name for me.
Jadyn
And G-O-P-O-U-L.
Gopaul.
So Jay, tell me how you feel about coming to school today. Are you afraid? Tell me about coming to school.
I'm happy to come to school because I'm glad to see my friends. It's been 2 years since I've last come to school. I was Form 2, now I'm in Form 4. And the schoolwork that will be provided will be much easier, and labs that I'm going to do will be much easier. And I'm not scared of the COVID-19 vaccine because the COVID-19 virus, because I have both my vaccinations. And on Friday last week, the principal had a meeting and all concerns were answered.
So what about your other friends and associated with them? How you feel about you meeting them today?
I feel happy because all my friends who are in school today are vaccinated fully and everything's calm.
Papa. Good luck.
Well,
Good luck to
my
one.
daughter, I had a text from my daughter's school for yesterday, and the vaccine, they'll be starting the vaccine on Wednesday.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So you have to
I
follow the
started.
consent form. So the kids have been vaccinated. 12 to 15 years old will be vaccinated from Wednesday.
From
Like
Wednesday.
how they
Yeah.
used to do it in primary schools, and they come in, the nurses come in and they do it right in school. I mean, it's accessibility too. You don't need to take them anywhere.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, all
they do
the
it on the
school
school
have
compound.
nurses section. Yeah, it have nurse on the compound 24/7. Well,
okay, but
during
they know
school
we don't have
term.
that here. But Jazan, are
Oh
you
yeah.
signing the consent form?
I haven't signed it yet, no.
when it needs to go back in,
It's supposed to go back in on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
isn't
they are in school as we speak. They are in school.
They wearing masks and they're being tested every week. Obviously, they got test flow tests that they do. They have to show. So
yeah. But I think to the ones that hesitate, I
Denisha
think
don't like
that
needles, so it'd be hard to get her to get that. So I don't know. That's not gonna work with me.
they
She's scared of needles.
they would put things in place for a while for the unvaccinated kids. You know, like if they're preventing them from coming to school, they will put an online thing on. But that will only be temporary because they want everyone to be vaccinated. So that they might even imply a deadline. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So Jazan, you might have to go on if it is she taking it back. So she's afraid of needles.
She afraid of needles, so it's very hard for Delisha. I'm telling you. I don't know how. I don't know.
And she's very strong-minded too.
Yeah, and she's very strong-minded. She said, "Mom, I'm scared of the needles, so I don't know how I'm gonna." I said, "I don't know." I had to hold her down to take a blood test a couple of years ago. Pin her down on the chair at the hospital.
Yeah.
So this needle, this vaccine, I don't know how you're gonna do. I don't know.
Well, the nurses might have to hold her. What can I say?
So
When
pin
they
her
school, they
down.
might have to. Yeah. That
Nah,
what
I
might
doubt
have
they
to
would
take
do
place.
that.
No, I mean that would
No,
be
they
the
would
only
request the
way.
parents. Most likely they would
Yeah, so
request a
Jazani
parent
might
to
have to
hold
go
her
in
down.
school. Yeah.
Don't study that. It won't be good tea without bacchanal.
I
Yes,
don't think my son is gonna take because he had
we're
the
not doing
consent
some
form
bacchanal here. I said
and
it
he
would be
didn't
without
show
a
me.
little
I found it
bacchanal.
in the wash.
Abby,
Oh, you found it in the wash?
Abby.
So he didn't
Abby.
want.
Just say that he forgot now, Abby.
No,
Oh gosh.
he forgot to
He
take it out his
purposely.
pocket because I was livid to see paper in the wash. Oh, so I told him, what is that? That school homework or something. He said, no, that consent form for vaccine. It's just that he forgot to take it out of his pocket, but he deliberately didn't show me because he don't want it.
Right.
Well, we will see.
Mommy stance on that. You understand?
Yeah.
I
And
know
mommy
my
says
mother.
she's not taking
I
it.
might do something like that.
So,
If I knew my mother, whoever, yeah, my mother
Well,
too, I go into that. And I'll be getting on bad in the school. And then I'll come in school and explain to them, that kind of shit.
no,
But
I'm just.
I find the young people are behaving a little different than the older ones. Yeah, just to say from the start when we looking at what the young people saying on camera, even on the Facebook, on the TikTok, is totally different to what our generation and the generation between and above the older generation are behaving. I would even go as far as to say the young persons and them are very more
mature.
receptive and mature in the way they
Yeah.
handle this particular thing. This is the first time I've ever seen young people act so mature about something so controversial. Whereas normally I was seeing young people on Facebook talking a pack of rubbish, talking all kind of craziness and getting in a whole hot mess. The young persons are not. And I was telling Chika the other day.
And even as far as persons with disabilities,
Yeah, because even our kids with disabilities are not
Yeah, because
safe
one
without
said,
the vaccine, right?
Miss, I advise you
And
to take
nice
it back. That
about this is, I remember my grandmother, the first time she saw a microwave. I said, and she kind of, you see, that is when you know you're old. You see, when something new come and be kicking brass, that is how you know you're getting older.
Yeah.
Because look how we just deal with microwave now. We don't care hot water, things like that. But my grandmother, she could have picked up a can for microwave.
You see, the thing is, Ryan.
I am telling you. I am telling you. That is when you know we get old, Abby. You see, when you think come and you see the young people behaving mature and the older people causing the bacchanal, that is when you know you get old. So let me see, we're supposed to have some bacchanal here. Right. So I have watched the young people, special needs, primary school. I listening to how they're talking and I am like, but wait, this is the youth boy? You know? Because it has so much misinformation on the internet, Facebook, all this set of thing. I was expecting.
What misinformation?
It have plenty of
Thank you,
misinformation
Mr.
on the
King.
internet, Abby. You
From
not
where?
Abby's there
They,
somewhere.
they didn't. Don't they have content thingy that if you put
No, Abby, that
anything, they're gonna
plenty
cut it off and block
Restriction?
it?
Abby,
No.
Abby, that plenty misinformation on the internet.
That is
Come
what
on
they're
now.
doing here. If I put up something on Facebook that go
Abby,
against the
no,
vaccine
Abby,
or
Abby,
anything, they're gonna block me.
You're gonna
no,
get
Abby,
locked
not
up.
everything.
Yeah. So how
Abby,
It all
misinformation is still?
depends. No, it all
Abby,
depends on how you put it, right? So people are going as far as they will not spell vaccine correctly. If
Abby,
it is they want to bust
Abby,
some
have
few
Oh.
loads
pretty
of
words,
misinformation on the
they
internet. Everything on the internet.
it have ways of going around the block, right? The blocking on
Okay.
Facebook
All right,
and
all
Twitter
right.
and
Now, I'm
wherever.
coming back to Abby just now.
Oh,
I'm
I
coming
am
back
tech
to Abby.
savvy, so I didn't know, Papa.
Hold on. Let me watch what's going on in Trinidad. We have a little protest going on. Let me take it out. I want to take it this out. Take it out. We have a little protest. But what I say, right? It have misinformation on the internet. We cannot agree to say that it have a lot of misinformation. But what I'm seeing from the young generation is something totally different. You agree? Tell me. Look at the youths in the junior sex, senior sex, the college is like it's a different vibration. You know what I mean? What do you think, Sonali, from the youth?
I'm just glad for the freedom.
You want to come back out?
Honestly and truly. Like,
They're
come
really
on.
kicking back to
How
say,
long will we
I
on
feel young
lockdown
people
and
fed
all
up
of
on their
that?
parents.
I don't
They
blame
can't go
them.
to the beach, can't go to the park, nothing. Of course, they want to be
They're fed up on
roaming
their
and
parents.
Exactly.
Seeing their parents
yeah,
every day, whole day.
I don't
yeah,
blame them.
I'm fed up
You're
seeing
like
boy.
in jail.
Yeah, they're fed
yeah.
up.
That's true.
Yeah. But I think I didn't hear much. What I'm hearing from the going back to school, the young man talk about his labs, because he knew.
I put
He
anybody.
knew. He
His
knew he had
education
to
is important, of course, for
he
him to
know,
reach where
yeah.
he's going.
Which
So
I'm
I
very
would expect that.
I'm very much impressed with the youth, seeing what I'm hearing, what they say that
So,
thing now.
do they have any
What
clips
is the name?
on?
Adana Morgan.
Yeah, Adana, why are you all here this morning with placards?
Well, during the pandemic, we tried to get in contact with management to ask them for a little help because it had staff that who didn't have anything to eat. They couldn't feed their family, understand? They had holiday money inside, so they asked for it so they be able to feed their family. They was told they couldn't get it. Then they called a meeting on the 30th to let us know that only vaccinated staff would be allowed in the building. And they want all the unvaccinated staff to take a leave of absence. It come like they want us to sign a paper saying we asked to leave the work for a certain amount of time, which is not true. We never asked for that. When we ask for holiday money, they have a problem. He says he's not giving us anything. When we ask for the money for the years that we work, since we cannot no longer be in the establishment, he don't want to give us that either. The kind of treatment that we went through in this place, the kind of things we did for this place, I don't think we deserve that treatment. Some people leave their kids home sick just to come to work to make sure this place runs. It have many days. I only recently turned a supervisor, and it have many days I finished work the last shift, and I have nowhere to reach home because they take away our transport. I live in Port of Spain. If we finish work 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I still in San Fernando waiting for a car. When they jump in their car to go home, they're reaching home safely. They don't care how we reach. They don't care what happened to us. I finish night shift, I have to come back morning shift just to make sure that this place runs. We win enough. We lose too much. Nothing wasn't satisfying to them. Nothing we could have did was good enough for them. So all we want is what rightfully belongs to us. Yes, you say we cannot work in the establishment anymore. Okay, so we want the money for the years that we work. We want our holidays money that we have inside. That's all we want, so that we could move on with our life. But he doesn't want to even give us that because we talked to him nice and it was a waste of time. He gave us runarounds. When we called to speak to him in a meeting, he would tell them to tell us he's not here. And when we did get to speak to him, he told us he's not giving us anything.
So what is all the next move and step?
Well, we're going to keep fighting. If this don't work, I guess it will have to go further.
Like how?
Probably go to court. Because we tried the nice way. Now we reach to the media. Well, we have to see where it goes. Because it's unfair to have workers who work longer than me, to have workers who have 12 years. When people go to check the NIS, years in NIS missing, who missing 2019, who missing, who don't have no NIS at all. Last year when we were supposed to get a grant, some people didn't get any grant because when the NIS checked, they wasn't paying it. But on your pay slip, it's saying that they take out the NIS money. So how your pay slip could say you take out the NIS money, but when you go in NIS office, they have nothing to show for it.
Wow. That's another thing. You see, employers who treat their employees like that, I will burn their building.
Yeah, you're thinking the same way like me, Abby. When she said to the next step, I was saying burn down the building.
Yes, I
In my
don't mind
mind, I was
sitting down in
thinking that.
jail. I will get 3 square meals in jail.
Thank you. A bed,
And I have my
blanket.
roof over my head. Yes.
Yeah, I would do the same. Burn down the
I'll
building.
burn it down to the ground.
To the ground, yeah. Yes.
Kerosene easy to get, matches easy to get.
I don't believe that. That is unacceptable.
It is.
It is.
Very
And then
much
your
so.
NIS as well.
So they're lying. So they doctor their pay slip, and then when go to collect the stuff, they're not even existing in it. That's fraud.
Yeah, it is.
And this is, and that's not the only place that's happening, eh? It's happening at many other establishments where the NIS isn't being paid. Right? But that is on that will be on the company side. They are responsible for paying the NIS. Yeah.
Wow.
So even though they may not be paying it now, they will still have that obligation to pay NIS, because even sometime earlier this year they would have sent out a report. NIS would have sent out a report on how many companies owe them. A lot of companies have not been paying NIS. Yeah,
that's just greedy, man. It's lying and it's greedy. So now they need their money to survive and move on, as she said.
Mm-hmm.
Give us what you owe and we go our way. Fair enough. Give the people what they're working through the pandemic, whatever. Counting
but
their
no, they
staff.
weren't working through the working through the pandemic because it's a casino that was closed down very.
Oh, it's a casino. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
But Abby, how can I give you the money that I done spent a bill on my house and buy land here, there, and everywhere? How can I give you your money when I already spent it?
They will sell some of that property. Hey, why they don't do them stuff here? They can't do them stuff here. They will slit their throat. What we call it? NIS is NIS in it?
Yeah, NIS, National Insurance.
Yeah, our NIS is take out automatically by the government. So there is no foul play with no companies. Automatically.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it have no mispayment or no nothing. They don't leave nothing towards because the government send their CQC people to sneak in and check. They would
like a
show up.
Audit.
They will show up unannounced. Take out your books, And if you don't have everything up to mark, they slit your throat, close your business down, everything. They don't play at all.
Yeah, it's up to the company to do that. If government was to do something like that, NIS rates will be more will be taken out, honestly and truly. So the option of having your employer do that or you personally pay your NIS is what goes on here.
We ain't gonna go through a listing. Wow. What people fail to understand is that because now to open, you need a fully vaccinated staff.
Mm-hmm.
That is easy. Right? So again, remember with me, I really care about comfort, I care about the dollar sign. Right? Because the company, which is the casino, is now placed in between a rock and a hard place. They cannot open unless the persons who employed there are vaccinated. That the government now squeezing it.
Right.
You have to make sure that the people coming into your establishment is vaccinated as well. And if any officer of the government comes to your establishment and somebody in there vaccinated, you have a big fine to pay. And you had jail time to see according to your strikes. And I could close you down indefinitely. What do you think
Now
would be
they added that in the safe zones, the employees who are not vaccinated have to take that PCR test every 2 weeks. They try to get them a little leeway, right? So
And
they
it's out
must do
of
it
their
every 2
money.
weeks.
Yeah, but
It's
that
out
is
of their money, of course.
All right. How you going and work a shift? You say you're working night shift. I work in night shift, I don't come back in the morning. My PCR test gain me how much days work, right? On the day my PCR test expire, I go back for one now in England or look at get quick in Trinidad. You just wait.
We get ours for free. I have a big box at home.
Yeah, but you had to wait in Trinidad. You had to hold
We
on
don't
some
have that.
days.
I have loads here.
You
I have
listen to me?
loads.
You listen to me? You had to hold on for some days, sometimes a week. So if you working a shift and you're shifting night and you're coming back, you can't work. You can't work
Yeah,
because
a week.
I had to wait on you to get a
Yeah.
PCR. I had to wait on you to come back.
Sometimes even 2 weeks, eh?
2 weeks
So
you wait.
with the time they are telling,
So
We
how much you'll
cannot
have to pay for
employ
it?
you. We cannot employ
How much
you
you
in
have to
Trinidad.
pay for the test?
You have to go England and work. We can't employ you in Trinidad because the system here is that you taking 2 weeks to get a negative PCR test and you working a shift. How you holding my floor? You see, it's easy to only see one side of the coin. And then I pay you want me pay you for when they close me down. I be in the business owner now. So I have to find money to pay you a year to close down casino.
Right.
Right? Where are you getting it to pay you? No, I don't know. Where are you
But
pay?
like she
I don't
said,
pay
it have their
contract.
holiday money inside.
That casinos in South Park. The rent, you have to pay the Syrian on them. Just for that building to stay on inside of it. I have to pay the Syrian them the rent. I open for a year. That means no business happening. You want me pay you severance. You want me pay the Syrian the rent. You want me pay the little bills I have to pay inside, wherever. I still have to pay for my license. And then I have to come, I just have to come and hand you holidays money that you didn't work.
What do you mean? When you work a certain amount of hours per week.
It's close enough.
Yeah, so why he didn't give them everything one time?
You can't get a thing, it's a casino.
But by law,
You mean, Abby, like into the account you're talking about, Abby?
Yeah, Abby,
yes.
You know how a casino does work? You know how a casino does make money? A casino does make money off of
when people
More
come
people
in.
that come in.
Yes,
But you let come in gambling, yeah.
Most of people losing, not even winning, losing.
Exactly. So he's just a bad businessman. That's what I'm saying.
For you to be a good casino, right? You had to have a ratio of win to loss. That means people should say, hey, when I go buy Royal, I just win plenty. And when you understand what I say?
Right.
When I go down by Royal, I just win my money, boy. We don't buy that roulette table. That roulette table is nice. So you have to lose and win. And at the end of the year, you end up with more. Your blackjack table. The dealers. Them who win the back, there's dealers and things, you know. So sometimes the house win, sometimes the players win. Sometimes you can really good blackjack players.
Right.
And they come down in the casino and clean you out. I mean, you know that. It's that people just
go
to Las Vegas and they could really play blackjack. And the dealers and them not as experienced. And they clean them out.
Card counting. Yeah, I mean,
so
if you're a good business, if you're a good businessman, you will put your stuff aside. Your capital, your thingy for, you know.
Maybe an unscrupulous person runs a casino.
A what?
An unscrupulous person.
Okay, right. I heard that before.
Like a OT.
Yes.
It's only OT does have them thing.
Does have them, dodgy kind of jobs. Yeah.
So when you put yourself, you can do them job as a side hustle, boy. I would put a job as my main hustle because if the operations of this establishment I work in is based on somebody losing, I am an employee there. I will be at the focus of the establishment.
Right.
If in the medical field is different, every field have a focus.
Yeah.
The employees will never be the focus to work in a casino. The casino main job is to make people lose for them to win.
Right.
You think we going to
Obviously.
get any money there? Time we call here accountant and they say we bankrupt. Them just bankrupt the company.
That's a damn shame.
Yeah, it had. Right, so what we are not
Sure
touching
have.
again. We have one young person to touch. We have plenty. Right, so we'll just touch this young person here, this young lady.
Tell us your name and where you're from.
I'm Rizanawa High School and I am from Pinal.
Okay, so tell us how you feel today about coming to school.
I feel nervous, anxious, and excited.
What name again?
Tell us why you're feeling this way.
Because to come back out and to be at home all the time and to come back out to meet everyone, basically it's really different.
You're a bit worried as well.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried in case, there's any virus coming out here and going back home to my family.
So, what was the reason that you decided to come out rather than to stay home and do your work?
Because they said that when you stay home and you're vaccinated, you're going to put you absent. So the government is to be present and be with my teachers, and hopefully I can learn better and get more attention face to face.
Papa.
Yeah. So you see, every school may be different. Some schools may say, here what, if it is you are vaccinated, come on. That's what the young lady is saying. If it is you're vaccinated, there's no reason for you to stay at home to be online.
And you do learn better in a classroom than home.
Yeah, most people do. Some persons
We do move
do
on
well,
now
I
to our
must
other
say.
major headline, the pandemic and the sweeping new mandates set to take effect. Many businesses, local governments, and schools now requiring vaccines, including the nation's largest public school system in New York City, where if teachers can't show proof of at least one shot by tomorrow, they can't come to work. This as the U.S. surpasses yet another painful milestone, more than 700,000 lives lost to COVID-19. But there is some encouraging news. Cases, hospitalizations, and deaths appear to be slowing. And tonight, what the CDC and Dr. Fauci are saying about holiday gatherings. ABC's Phil Lipoff with the story here in New York.
Tonight, new vaccine mandates across the country set to go into effect. In New York City, the nation's largest school district, any teacher who does not have at least one shot by tomorrow will be out of a job.
I felt shocked, surprised, heartbroken. My students messaged me Friday. I am not allowed to talk to them, even though I gave them a heads up that this is it.
And while there remains opposition, the overwhelming majority, at least 93% of teachers, have had at least one shot, well above the national average.
I cannot imagine giving up my 24-year career because I didn't get a vaccine, because we do not have enough space for the schools to fully social distance, and this would be safer for all of us.
The city saying it has an army of vaccinated substitutes ready to step in. And it's not just New York. Connecticut's mandate for state employees set to take effect Monday night. The National Guard on standby to fill in any critical shortages. And in California, the governor becoming the first in the nation to mandate the shot for all public school students once the FDA approves the vaccine for each age group.
I do like that it's after FDA approval, but I also feel like it should be the family's choice.
I'm grateful, yes, because I would hate for one of my babies to come home with it.
An FDA advisory panel expected to discuss authorization for Pfizer's vaccine for kids aged 5 to 11 possibly later this month. And drug maker Merck planning to ask for authorization of its antiviral pill that it says could cut the risk of COVID-related hospitalizations and deaths in half. While Dr. Anthony Fauci called the pill extremely important, he stresses no pill is a substitute for the vaccine.
The easiest way to stay out of the hospital and not die is don't get infected.
Phil Lipoff back with us here in New York. And Phil, the CDC is out with some holiday guidance for the fall season. And today, Dr. Fauci also weighing in on whether it will be safe for families to gather.
He did, which specifically Dr. Fauci said it's too soon to tell if families will be able to gather safely this holiday season. As you mentioned, the CDC out with its holiday guidance as well, recommending you be fully vaccinated in order to travel, urging those who are not vaccinated to wear a mask indoors. Whit.
Phil, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, as I was saying, now that young lady, she's only going out to school because she will be placed as absent. But I mean, if it is a get the vaccine, I think that you'll feel, much more secure to go out there. You'll feel more comfortable. But in her case, she's wondering, if she gets maybe the COVID-19 virus from a teacher who is unvaccinated or whatever the case is, then she might take it home to her family. But I think, once the family, you have the likelihood of you getting really sick is
from New York.
Like, I don't know, 1%. Because I know of persons now who are vaccinated. They have COVID and they are not showing any symptoms. They're normal. They wouldn't even know.
Teachers beware.
Wow.
Teachers beware. You see, we just tell on you, when anytime we come and we show this kind of thing somehow, when we're private, the stag up and start talking to the same thing that I'm saying. And I'm just saying this for the past year. They call the teachers worried. What about that?
It have people waiting. It have people waiting.
What people don't understand. This is New York, right? So the idea center. I like to use New York because this is where they have the most lawyers, the most people who could say, all right, I'm going to sue the government. They realize that nobody is in the government, right?
Not you heard of.
If New Yorkers can't sue the government, because New Yorkers will make plenty money suing the government. That's trust me.
Yeah.
What that going on say for the Caribbean? I want us not to think that we're in a bubble. Please. We are part of the world. We're not a part just in the own country here. That happened here. Imagine you're a teacher for 20 years. You go in and let a vaccine stop you from that. You go and lose. You don't even know if you could lose your pension. Think about the things you're going to lose. Right? Imagine the largest school district in the Western Hemisphere. They call the teachers them, boy, Mountain, for their vaccine. Go for that.
No, the next day, don't come to work the next day.
Well, they understand that?
It's that brutal.
No. That's why I said, only relax in Trinidad. Look at what New York getting. Look at the kind of licks the teachers, all that the teachers are doing more country. Only porn, only mask now.
So you mean
still get paid now?
If I work for 20 odd years.
Listen, look at what other countries, so-called first world and whatever countries doing to the staff who give their life for so much years. Look how easy they could get rid of it. And we complaining to put on a mask and come and make your money. Think about it. Look what's going on in New York. Look what's going on in Toronto. And all we prime minister telling all you, only keep all your job now. Just put on all your mask and come and teach children, please.
Fair enough. Wow.
I'm still paying you. I mean, listen to me. I know it's perfect. I know it's right now with on the right. But let me be real now, boy. Before we go. Look at Toronto. Look at New York. And my prime minister with the ball and says, oh God, put on all your masks and make all your money. Let me pay all your now, please. You understand? And we change that back.
That's the government sector. What about the private owned business?
Yeah.
Like
no,
that casino place.
We have some private owned businesses not really squeezing out yet. There, to be honest.
Okay.
To be honest, that's what I'm saying. It's still our country, still in the all the big force will put in pressure on other countries to do certain things. But we still say, come to work. Put on your mask now. We know you're not vaccinated, but just on pom-pom, put on your mask, please, because you're not vaccinated. We are doing Look, and you're still staying home. And the first world country firing the teachers, firing the police officers, firing. Look at it. Look at what's going on. And all we private apologize. All you phone on your boss, let me pay on it.
I get that.
And we listen. Abby, you could understand that?
Yeah. To be uncomfortable for a while. Yeah.
Be
That's
uncomfortable,
right.
but at least I am not now jumping down your throat, holding your neck, saying, if you don't have the vaccine, you can't come and stay home. You still have the option. Still, it might be for long. But right now, this is the case. You know what I mean?
I get that.
You take the uncomfortableness now. Look, Toronto, tell them no bother, like nothing. They run them like dog. Toronto. Wow. New York, imagine. Use that
no pay.
Suspension
with no pay.
No, with no pay.
That's
heartless.
And you cannot query that.
That's the thing.
And listen, Uncle Joe, Uncle Joe don't tell them, I could use my executive order. You understand what I'm saying? So that is without contestation. Our executive order is without contestation. That is why Boris, he said what he said. He could talk. I want to get a man know how to talk. He said what he said, you know. He said, we still reserve the right. Because they can't use our executive order. And that is uncontested. And all we telling all you put on your mat and finish please now. Until Christmas. Make your money till Christmas, please now. Yeah? Yeah, come on, they call them money till Christmas. Just put on the mask now. Yeah? Because we're not forcing all here. Trinidad, you don't know what is forcing on. What going on in New York is forced.
Definitely.
What going on in Toronto is forced. If I am telling you, if you're unvaccinated, put on your mask on the compound, that is a reasonable request.
Yeah.
That is a reasonable request. That is unreasonable. Because it have people losing their job in these first world countries. It have teachers losing their job after 20 years in these first world countries. So you can tell them what's going on for the rest of the day.
So we have what they're cooking at 11, you know, the bacchanal section.
Hard questions today. Yeah? Wait a bit this evening, you know what I'm saying? Mike, well, Mike, this is an action. Mike,
yeah. At 5:30 p.m., we should be having the effects of COVID-19 on the family. The blueprint and the topic is life goals, right? So we're talking about how COVID-19 affected whatever goals they had during that time. You see that young man since Form 2, he home and he now in Form 4 and now able to go out. So, I mean, COVID was a little setback. So definitely that's what we're talking about later. And tomorrow, of course, we have Sweaty Sunday. Josanne making sure she jump out herself. Yes, so we'll see you all at 11 for what you're cooking. Abby, prepare yourself for whatever question Lion
boy. Yes,
prepare yourself. So thank you everyone for locking on, you know, tuning in. Yeah, it was nice as usual. Goodbye.
But will Lion disappear?
You're in LA.
Oh, I'm so city.
I got SPM, baby. I got SPM, no. I fais petit temps, baby. I got SPM, no. I got SPM, baby. I got SPM, no. Wap got SPM, tandis. I got SPM, no. C'est genre de femme, mais l'argent.